in the space of liquor, more state regulatory developments, and we're joined by Manpreet Singh Badal, the Finance Minister of Punjab. Mr. Badal, thanks so much for joining us, sir, on ET Now. Now, from what we understand is there's been a new excise policy that has been adopted by the state of Punjab. So, if you could just start off with, I think the prime objective seems to be essentially to curb smuggling and to take people off drinking liquor. If you could just take us through the key highlights to start off with.
Well, if I were to give the highlights of the Punjab excise policy for the year 18-19, when we were drafting the manifesto of the Congress party a year and a half back, we were actually concerned with the kind of consumption of alcohol which was taking place in the state. So the manifesto, we had stated that we will cut down liquor quota, which is auctioned every year, by 5%. So that at the end of 5 years, we would be 25% less than what we started off 5 years back. But what we did last year, we cut the quota by 15%, and this year we cut the liquor quota by another 32%. So cumulatively, over 2 years, alcohol availability in Punjab would be less by about 47%. So that is one highlight of this new excise policy, that there will be less number of vends and less quota for the people. The second is that we have made alcohol cheaper in Punjab. If I were to break down the percentage, 80% of liquor which is consumed in Punjab is what is called the Punjab medium liquor, which is in local parlance, we call it the Desi. So Desi is about 80% of the consumption and IMFL is 20% of the consumption. So we have cut down the prices of Desi by 20%. Also we cut down the prices for beer and as well as the Indian made foreign liquor. Not by 20% but substantially.
Okay, point taken. The idea is essentially to cut down the liquor consumption. You've done so by even cutting quota a good 47% in the last 2 years. Now, group size is something as well that you've referred to. Under the new policy, it has been reduced significantly. If you could just explain to our viewers, how can the government control the liquor market via group size? And what is the implication of a smaller group size on liquor companies?
Well, liquor mafia will be controlled because these auctions which take place, they are on the basis of a lottery. So it's not competitive bidding. The price of the vend has already been decided. So anybody who wants to actually go for a vend, then he has to put in a piece of paper and it's actually picked up by a machine. So as a result, the mafia cannot compete for more than a certain number of vends. And so each individual will only be allowed 2 vends. So the mafia will not be able to participate.
Okay, understood. The other factor which you as well spoke about is in relation to the reduction in prices. Like you said, 20% is the reduction. How will this be done exactly? And it's coming at a time when we've seen states like Maharashtra and Karnataka increase their excise duty on liquor.
Yes, but we have not raised the excise duty on liquor. We've kept it at the same. But we feel that with more competition, because eventually, what Punjab's previous policy was based on was setting a very high quota for alcohol, and sometimes the liquor mafia or the liquor trade or whoever was in the business of alcohol, they could not exhaust that quota. So as a result, then they had to sell it very, very cheap. So the reason why we have reduced quota is that they should not be able to sell it cheap, and alcohol should be sold at the price which is the maximum retail price which will be determined by the government.
That makes sense. Okay. Now the state government had a liquor excise revenue target of 6,000 crore rupees. So would this new policy help achieve that target?
I am not a Jyotishi, but I hope so. This is something very reasonable. We have not pegged it higher. But there is one more thing which I would like to clarify, that though we have set a very low liquor quota, but there is some flexibility of any liquor trader who exhausts that quota, then there will be a certain margin over and above that quota which he can apply to the government. And say if he exhausts his entire quota in December, then for the next 3 months there is some flexibility that government may allow him a higher quota provided he pays for it. So when you say 6,000 crores, it could go up by 500 crores, it could go up by 1,000 crores if the sales are more than expected, but our overall policy would be to discourage drinking of alcohol.
Now, from what I understand, there were certain cabinet members who opposed this policy. They said that liquor should be retailed by the state government. It's a practice that has been followed by some states with success. Any reasons why this was not considered? Why you did not want to take distribution and retail in the government's hands?
Well, there were two options, because some states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Chhattisgarh have gone in for government corporations selling it. This is under the active consideration of the state government. This year we were not ready in terms of logistics, warehouse, information, IT solutions and so on and so forth. And we will be actually going to some of the states which I've mentioned to study this model. Himachal, which is immediate neighbor of Punjab, had the corporation model last year, but they've scrapped it this year. It didn't work for them. As far as smuggling is concerned, because some of the states like Tamil Nadu, it's a huge state. They're not susceptible to smuggling. They have a huge coastline. So does Kerala. So we will have to actually study this whole thing threadbare before we can actually introduce the government either in retail or in wholesale. But we'll have to wait and see. If we can actually, if Punjab is ready for that.
All right, Mr. Badal, really appreciate you giving us your time on ET Now, breaking down the new excise policy for liquor as introduced by the government in the recently held state budget.